12 News at 10 starts right now.
We begin tonight in Gilbert, where the town's police chief says that his department doesn't have enough money to get through the rest of the fiscal year, which ends in June. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10. I'm Caribe Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Gilbert Police Chief Michael Solberg says one of the issues is the cost of the ongoing teen violence investigation. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono joins us live in studio to explain. Bianca?
Yeah, Mark Caribe, Gilbert police say if the town council doesn't approve an additional $2.3 million for the department next week, they won't be able to maintain their level of service.
There was an influx of information.
That was Gilbert Police Chief Michael Solberg on March 12th, talking about tips that he says started coming into his office after 16-year-old Preston Lord was killed in Queen Creek back in October. Tips relating to new and old teen violence cases in his community.
After Preston Lord was killed, we made an effort to look at all of our teen violence cases to make sure that we didn't miss anything.
His department ultimately reopened previously shelved cases and launched new ones. Now, the department says teen violence investigations are part of the reason they've run out of money this fiscal year, ending June 30th. According to budget records reviewed by 12 News, the department was budgeted to spend $77 million this year, its highest amount according to publicly available records dating back to 2007. But a report written by Solberg to the mayor and town council says they anticipate they're $1.9 million short when it comes to personnel costs due to staffing shortages, increased workload, and major cases, including teen violence cases. The report states the department also mistakenly spent tens of thousands of dollars when transitioning to a new cell phone and data company. And when they factor vehicle-related expenses, the chief says he needs $2.3 million to get to the end of the year to maintain their level of service, noting they'll be unable to pay essential invoices without it. He's asking for the money to be taken out of the $15 million general fund contingency.
We've got a lot of cases that we've reviewed, and part of our process was reviewing those cases and determining if there's anything else we could have done better.
And the Gilbert Police Department's deficit is set to be discussed at next week's council meeting. Town staff is recommending that request be approved. We should note we reached out to the police department and council for comment this afternoon. So far, we have not heard back. Live in studio tonight, Bianca Bono, 12 News.
All right, Bianca, thank you. We are following some developing news in South Phoenix tonight, where deputies are investigating a shooting. It happened near 27th Avenue and Dobbins Road. The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office tells 12 News that a man was shot and was taken to the hospital where he is in critical condition. Deputies detained a man they believe is responsible for the shooting. Investigators aren't sure what led up to the shooting, but they say that there is no threat to the community tonight.
A Mesa mother is pleading for the public's help tonight to find the man who tried to sexually assault her 12-year-old daughter. Silent witness offering a $12,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest. According to Mesa police, the attack happened February 3rd near 80th Street and University. Silent witness says the man threatened the child with a knife before attempting to assault her. If you have any information, give Silent witness a call at 480-WITNESS.
New tonight, Phoenix police have made an arrest in a shooting that caused a fiery crash back in February. The terrifying scene was all caught on a neighbor's security camera. This all happened near 67th Avenue and Fillmore Street when 19-year-old David Juarez was shot while driving. He slammed into several parked cars, you can see there in that video, causing his car to catch fire. He would later die from his injuries. Phoenix police say that 19-year-old Richard Salazar is now in custody for that shooting. He is facing charges of first-degree murder and armed robbery. Now to the very latest on Arizona's abortion law, following some key action that was taken at the state capitol today. The Senate approved a bill to repeal Arizona's 1864 abortion ban, sending the legislation to Governor Katie Hobbs's desk for final approval.
The governor says she'll sign the bill tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. And all of this, of course, is on the heels after the Arizona Supreme Court upheld the state's 160-year-old abortion ban. The House voted to repeal that ban last week, and then today in the state Senate, Republican Senators T.J. Shope of Coolidge and Shauna Bullock of Phoenix stood with Senate Democrats to move the bill forward. And while the Senate was voting, a group of pro-life and pro-choice advocates gathered outside waiting to hear the results.
I'm glad that some of the Arizona Republicans switched over and voted with the repeal. That gives me hope.
I think it's unfortunate, although it was expected. We were praying that they would change their minds.
Our coverage of Arizona's abortion law continues both on air and online. We'll be at the state capitol tomorrow when the governor signs the repeal into law.
New at 10, the Phoenix City Council narrowly passed an ordinance to establish a civilian-led board that will oversee the police department. In a contentious 6-3 vote, the council approved creating a civilian board with the amendment that residents who have filed legal claims against the police department will not be able to serve on it. The board will consist of Phoenix residents who are appointed by the mayor and council and will work alongside the Office of Accountability and Transparency to review internal police department investigations. This all comes as the department has been the subject of a Department of Justice investigation for nearly 3 years. Meanwhile, the City Council also took action tonight to bring more affordable housing to Phoenix. Officials approved $9 million in federal grant funding to create over 400 new units across the city. This has been a key focus for Phoenix for the last few years. Back in 2020, the city created the Housing Phoenix Plan with the goal of creating and preserving 50,000 affordable housing units by the year 2030. So far, they have reached 80% of that goal.
Well, take a look at this. In Tucson, A Mountain's iconic A has been vandalized. Sometime overnight, the top of the A was painted in the colors of the Palestinian flag. This comes as protests turned violent overnight on the U-Arizona campus. It all started when pro-Palestinian protesters clashed with police when they were ordered to leave their encampment around 11 o'clock last night. According to University President Robert Robbins, police were hit with projectiles and had to use pepper balls and rubber bullets to disperse the crowd. 4 people were arrested for trespassing. 2 of them were students. University officials say the encampment was finally cleared at about 2:30 this morning.
Meanwhile, about 20 pro-Palestinian protesters were also arrested at NAU's campus last night. 12 News obtained an email that was sent out to students, and in it, university officials say that protesters were informed throughout the day that the school guidelines prohibited people from protesting overnight. Law enforcement spent nearly 3 hours clearing the area of the protests on campus.
New at 10, a Valley toddler is undergoing treatment for a rare form of cancer. But his doctor isn't in Arizona and he can't get treatment here. Tonight, 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra shares baby Enzo's journey to recovery.
At 11 months old, Enzo Ruiz has already found the joy in life.
He's extremely happy. He's vibrant. He loves the outdoors. He loves looking around.
But about 2 weeks ago, Jasmine Gibbons noticed something was wrong with her curious son. Enzo's right eye began wandering. Doctors told her it would go away with age, but her mother's intuition spoke louder.
One day we're thinking that he's going to the eye doctor to get treated for a lazy eye, or so that they can give us some kind of exercises, to get his eye muscles, working stronger. And the next day we're finding out that he has cancer.
Enzo was diagnosed with retinoblastoma, a rare eye cancer that almost always occurs in children less than 6 years old.
Pretty rare, but the fact that he has bilateral, which means that it's in both eyes, is even more rare.
The cancer already took Enzo's right eye, but there's a chance doctors can save his left.
After his first chemo treatment, we'll know whether or not he's going to be able to have his full vision restored.
To make the diagnosis even more difficult,
It's been a long road.
Enzo's family has to travel nearly 2,000 miles to see a specialist. Gibbons says there weren't any doctors in Phoenix able to treat Enzo.
We'll need to be traveling to Wisconsin once a month to get him treated.
Enzo will undergo chemotherapy in Phoenix and cryotherapy at Children's Wisconsin in Milwaukee.
He has a long journey ahead of him.
But through it all, Enzo hasn't lost his spark for life.
We love him so much.
A GoFundMe page was started to help Enzo's family pay for medical and travel expenses. We'll share a link to that on our website, 12news.com. Reporting in the newsroom, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Enzo looks like a tough little guy, doesn't he? We wish him the very best. Gabby, thank you.